the boy.
I failed you, son. Forgive me. Forgive me. I will let you down no longer. Forgive me. Forgive me.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Make me to walk in the path of thy commandments.
Coward! You betrayed your family!
Gion mi muhucha. Gabuje am prish gabi mi rish. You're too late! You will not get him! It'll work. It must.
My dearest David, it was with great joy that I received your last letter. Know that you are missed terribly here in India. If my calculations are correct and the International Postal Service is kind, this letter will keep you company as you make the final leg of your journey to Scotland. I hesitate to say anything for fear you'll think me foolish, even hysterical. Your father made it his life's work to research his family's twisted history. This and his obsession with the occult combined to unravel his poor mind. John loved his family and his family home, but he hated and mistrusted them in equal measure. Son, beware of the Gordons. Blood is not always thicker than water. Your loving mother.
This countryside can be more different to India. Good sir, how much longer until we reach the castle?
Almost there, sir.
Just like 2 hours ago. The estate really does lie off the beaten track. couldn't even bring myself to show this to Mother. A note about a library, a key, and some sort of broken toy. Should I even try to read any real meaning into all of this?
We have arrived, sir.
Welcome, Mr. Gordon. I'm Andrew Harrison.
Mr. Harrison, it's good to finally meet you. From our correspondence, I expected you to be older.
Thank you. I'll lead the way. It's quite dark already. We can continue to talk inside.
He's arrived, my lady.
David, welcome to Skahandu House.
Lady Margaret, how kind of you to welcome me in person at such a late hour. An impressive building. Skahandu, though. Unusual. What is its meaning?
Unusual only if you have not bothered to study Gaelic. It means Black Mirror House. Many generations of the Gordon family have been master of this house. It is a great responsibility. Perhaps the greatest a man could bear.
If I may, I would like to know more about my father's last days.
It is too late in the day for such morbid talk. You do look so very much like John, though. Angus, please show Master David to his room.
Yes, ma'am.
I trust you had a pleasant journey. This place is rather remote, even for Scotland.
It was most pleasing, thank you. I was fortunate enough to stop off in several fascinating places on my way here. How long have you been practicing law?
I came to the bar a few years ago. I'm at chambers in Edinburgh with lawyers who have served the Gordon family for generations. I'm embarrassed to ask, but it is my job. Have you proof of who you say you are? You are David Gordon, son of the late John Gordon.
Please, I quite understand. Here you are.
What a curious object.
Isn't it? It belonged to my father. He posted it to me shortly before his death. I'm not at all sure what it is.
Perhaps it's something else returning home where it belongs, like its new owner. Have a good night, Master David. I shall continue my studies.
Please follow me, Master David. Your grandfather, his lordship Edward Gordon.
There is no denying it. We are family. Somebody still cares. Maybe you weren't as bad as Mother believed. Grandfather Edward. Father never spoke of you, but Mother never had a kind word to say. You were the worst of the lot, she said. Magnificent.
That is the master's study, sir, but there'll be plenty of time to examine it in the light tomorrow. It does that sometimes, sir. Lady Gordon expects you for breakfast at 8, sir.
Thank you. Lady Gordon called you Angus? Pleased to meet you, Angus.
Yes, sir, she did. I am Mr. McKinnon.
Mr. McKinnon, yes.
I'd advise you not to leave the room tonight. Ticking clocks are not the worst thing you may encounter in the house at night, if you don't know your way around. Sleep well, sir.
Maybe he's more of a morning person. I doubt this place could ever be properly warm. Hold on. This looks like... Wait a moment. This is a piece of a model. Glad I don't have to carry you around anymore. Mr. McKinnon lifted you up with ease. Not many matches left. Ah, just what I need.
No, this isn't right. There should be a room here. No, this isn't what I need either. Where is it? Eavesdropping, Mr. Gordon? That's hardly proper.
Is this what Father meant by a family of snakes?
If you don't mind, I have a system and don't want to mix things up. Lady Gorton is very keen on confidentiality.
Of course. Hiding something, are we? That looks daunting.
Daunting, but rewarding and fascinating.
Fascinating?
Yes, indeed. The history of the Gordon family goes back a long way.
So it's true we are one of the oldest families in Scotland?
Oh, much more than that. The Gordons have owned this land back into antiquity, before records were even kept. Add to that some unique and unusual local laws. Well, it can be a challenge, but a welcome one.
Did you know my father?
I was called to the house shortly after your father arrived.
Why did that need a lawyer?
Those complex local laws I spoke of were to blame. Your father left when Edward died, so none of the required legal formalities to transfer the house were observed.
Does that mean...
Not at all. There will be no issue with transferring the estate to your name, if that is what you wish.
Have you had a chance to examine my papers?
I have, and am delighted to say that everything is in order. I would not be doing my job if I didn't warn you that with Edward dead and your father absent, the family fortune has somewhat diminished over the years. However, the real treasure is the castle and the grounds themselves. I haven't spent as much time as I'd like here, but it is a unique place.
I noticed that the door to the master's study is locked. Might I get a key for it?
Of course. I will see to it that you are supplied with one, if there is one available. No door should be locked to the soon-to-be owner, after all. Well, it's been a long day. I bid you good night.
I'll get myself something to read and then head to bed too. Good night. I didn't see you there. You gave me quite a fright. You are?
I'm the one who keeps the house from being covered in weeds. Name's Rory.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Дэвид Гордон.
Aye, I kenned you were coming today.
Why are you sitting in the dark?
There's enough light for me, laddie.
Oh, your eyes. I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
I see more than most do, son.
How long have you worked for the Gordons?
Always been a gardener, and I do some fishing. The loch's a bonny place. Calms the nerves.
Did you know my father?
I did, aye. Shameful what they did to him.
What do you mean? Who is they? I'll leave you to your supper then.
Being a Gordon can be a curse, laddie. Your father kenned the hard way. Mind you dinna follow in his footsteps.
Blood. Not human, I presume. Better safe than sorry. This might come in handy. This might take a while. I need to be steady and try to... Oh, well, there you go. Let's see what father didn't even want his own family to find. Now what are you for? Here we go. This side is done as far as I can tell. But there must be more. What an intricate piece of furniture. That sounded like some part of the desk moved. Yes, that's too open. Ah, we're getting somewhere. A key and a note from father. Someone is tampering with my work. I know it. I know it. I hear them as they whisper and snicker. They sneak in when I sleep. This place isn't safe. I have locked my work away in the study. I am leaving now. I will put an end to this terrible torment one way or another. David, if you find this, then I am dead. The forces abroad here have got to me. I am sorry you have been drawn into this tragedy. The answers you seek are amongst the papers in the master's study. Use them. Stay safe. I love you, son. My God, what happened here? What did they do to my father? Is this the key Father spoke of? Oh, hi there. You startled me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Hey, wait! Where did he go? It doesn't fit. Open sesame. Someone's been searching here. Either they didn't have time to clean up, or simply did not care. What a mess. Letters about the day-to-day running of the estate. These might be useful if I decide to live here. The handwriting must be Edward's. Pay half what he asks. Forward to lawyers. Charming. And this one. Your money won't protect you forever. The hangman will catch up eventually. A curse on you and your family. Seems he was as popular as he was pleasant. Some sort of secret compartment. Father's handwriting. The chapel. The family chronicles. I may find answers there. Looks like a note about the cipher in the shelf. This looks interesting. Screwed down tight. Someone didn't want it moved. This castle certainly has its secrets. It looks very precise, accurate. A lot of work went into this. There's a bit missing. Hold on. There.
Stop your whining! Stop your whining!
Wait! The boy! Did you see him? Where did he go?
What did I tell you about disturbing me in my study?
Are you all right, sir?
What happened, David?
The boy. There was blood and he pushed him down.
Who? Who do you think you saw?
Him.
What did you just say, sir?
It's all right.
You're like your father. You can see them too, can't you?
I've been babbling in my sleep since I was a child. It's nothing to worry about. Poor girl is scared out of her wits.
Of course, sir. Sorry, sir.
My father. What did he think he saw?
It ain't my place to say, sir. But
Go on.
begging your pardon, sir. You should go. This place, it drove your father mad.
Drove him? Did he say what or whom he saw?
I'm sure I don't know, sir.
Best not push her too hard. She's scared enough of me already. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
It's Ailsa, sir. Ailsa Crannan. Oh, and Master Andrew asks if you would join him in the library. After breakfast, of course.
Thank you, Miss Crannan. Get a hold of yourself, David. Were these apparitions what drove my father from the castle when he was young? Were they what drew him back? He must have found something in the family chronicles he spoke of. Nobody else saw the boy or the old man who looked like my grandfather Edward. But it felt real, more even than the daydreams that plagued my childhood. I don't remember ever seeing that boy. A faded memory, perhaps? As far as I know, I've never been to this castle before. Elsa knows more than she wants to tell me.
Aye, and once you're done in the kitchen, go and clean up the cellar. The spiders have made a nest down there. A big one, too. They're crawling everywhere. Master David, nice of you to grace us with your presence.
I appreciate your patience.
I've had the staff prepare some of the finest Scottish delicacies for you. Black pudding, haggis, scrambled eggs with deer brain, and bacon.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry.
As you say, sir.
This'll make it easier to carry. The boy. It must be. But I need to be sure. Perhaps the names are on the back. What's this? Looks like it's drawn in blood? Regardless of what I told Miss Crannan, these visions are like nothing I've ever experienced before, and they're getting worse. Smoking a pipe? I thought that would be beneath her station. Lady Margaret.
David?
May I first apologize for my strange behavior last night? It's just that...
Think nothing of it. You were obviously tired from your travels. Least said, soonest mended.
I saw an old photograph of a boy in the other room. Something tells me she wouldn't be happy if she knew I had it in my pocket.
That was taken in 1894. Young Johnny, your father.
You can remember the exact year.
It's a funny thing when you reach my age. You can remember dates from decades ago.
But not what you had for breakfast.
Maybe others can't.
Who, may I ask, were the others in the picture?
That would be your Aunt Clara and your late great-grandmother, the last true Countess of Scahandew House. And my dear Edward, of course.
I noticed my father had a scar on his face. How did that happen?
Falling from a tree, perhaps? I can't recall. But your father was a clumsy child.
Can't recall. But you remember the date the photograph was taken. What kind of man was my grandfather?
Oh, he was magnificent. He was handsome, so handsome, and caring.
Caring enough to knock a defenseless child down the stairs.
All was so very different when he was around.
The maid. She seemed to be acting strangely, like she was frightened of me.
Yes, well, she's a simple sort, that one. She has probably heard of the curse of the Gordons the locals like to whisper about.
Curse? What curse?
Just a peasant superstition. I would guess she was worried you'd show the same displays of unpredictable violence as your father did.
I never knew my father to be the violent type.
Oh, there are many things you do not know about your father. This is his doing.
What? But how?
I'd rather not discuss it, David. And that maid should really keep her mouth shut and locate the earring she lost. She's like a magpie with shiny, expensive things.
This may seem like an unusual question.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't, dear boy.
Have I ever been here before? Is it possible I visited as a child and can no longer remember?
Oh, no. You are a stranger to these walls.
And I have a feeling you prefer it stayed that way. I shall take my leave, Lady Margaret.
Yes.
Margaret's lost earring. Not stolen after all. Miss Crannan? Isn't that used for transporting cooked food? Why is there blood in it?
Ugh, the wee scunner thought it would be funny to put one of his dead beasties in it to fear me. He should keep them in the cellar and... Sorry, sir. I'm speaking out of turn.
Did you ever talk to my father?
I was serving here when he... That is to say,
Go on, please.
I didn't think it'd be proper, sir. Lady Margaret said... Oh, sorry, sir. I must get on with my work.
She's as scared of Margaret as she is of the butler. Poor girl. You said my father saw things.
I don't want to talk about it, sir.
I noticed the attic door is locked.
You'd best ask Angus, sir. I hardly go up there.
The mere mention of the attic terrified her. What is in there? I think you may have lost this.
Oh, sir! Oh, thank you, sir. I only wanted to see how it looked in the mirror. I didn't mean to. I was scared to tell her ladyship. Oh, she can have such a temper.
What are you going to do now?
If I can sneak it into the salon, maybe her ladyship will think she lost it there herself.
From what I know about her, I very much doubt her ladyship will. What happened to my father here?
I'm sorry, sir. You're not like the rest of them here. Oh, sir, there's things you should know, but I really need this job.
She knows something. But how can I convince her to trust me? Would you like me to escort you to the cellar?
Wouldn't be proper to ask the owner of the house to do that, sir.
Well, I'm not the owner yet, and you didn't ask.
Very kind of you, sir.
Happy to help. I'll let you know when I'm ready to accompany you down there. I shall leave you to your work. Shall we? Let's see what we can find down here. Raw spirit. Not particularly palatable, but good for cleaning. And magic tricks. Step right up!
Sir? What are you... Oh my! Oh, that's amazing! Does that not hurt?
No, a little trick I learned in India.
Sorry, did that scare you, Elsa? I didn't think... Huh.
And you are?
Edward Mallory. You may call me Edward III.
So this is Cousin Eddie. He seems...
Welcome to my castle.
as terrible as the rest of them. My castle indeed. Pleased to meet you, Eddie. So, your parents would be my aunt and uncle Clara and Victor. Are they...
Dead. Dead as doornails, the pair of them.
Lovely. You've lived here all your life, so you would have met my father.
Only after he lost what marbles he had left. If it were up to me, I'd have locked him up in the loony bin a bit sooner.
Locked him up?
So what are you doing down here anyway?
There's a line between honesty and rudeness that Cousin Eddie doesn't seem to recognize. I was helping Miss Crannan.
Oh, why didn't you ask me?
Excuse me, sir. Sirs, I really have to go.
Leaving so soon? Was it something I said? They all tend to act like that in the presence of nobility.
You said something about a loony bin?
I did. Oh, you don't know.
Well?
Well, never you mind. I have an animal to prepare.
I'm getting very tired of everyone in this house avoiding my questions.
There's something you should know, sir. Something important. I overheard them talking, and
You're paid to work, not chat. Get to it, girl.
Sorry, Mr. McKinnon. Library, after dinner.
At last. I might get some answers. Finally, some fresh air.
Master David.
You could tell it was me.
Your footsteps. I ken the walk of everyone here.
Wow, that's rather incredible.
Aye, that it is, laddie. That it is. I hear better than most. See more than most and all.
When you talked about what they did to my father, what did you mean?
He shouldn't have come back. You canna go through what he did as a bairn and no be sick.
So his hospitalization was justified then?
Not for me to say. Before you think of putting down roots here, you should think on what the poison grown here did to your father. You can?
No, not really.
If you dinna mind, this door'll no mend itself.
I'll leave you to it then. Locked with a padlock. Andrew will have a key, but I'm not keen on waiting for his return. I've seen this before. In the painting. This is the grave I saw in that waking dream or whatever it was. The grave my father buried something in as a boy. Who's buried here? If I could just... these vines are too thick. I need something to cut through these. You wouldn't have to have a chapel key, would you?
Ain't set a foot in there for years, and I don't intend to either.
That'll be a no then. May I borrow your bolt cutter?
Maybe. If I ken what you need it for.
The graves. I would like to tidy them up. That way I can pay my respects properly.
Is that a fact? Why's that then?
They are my family. They deserve to be remembered.
Fair enough, laddie. Just grab it yourself, will ye?
Better. Cecilia Shaw nee Gordon. Aunt Cecilia. Now, let's see if there's something really buried in here. Another piece of the castle model. Another part of the model. And it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child? Being the chronicle of the family Gordon, as laid down by Sir Drummond Gordon, the year of our Lord, 1413.
Local legend speaks of this particular glen as being inhabited from time immemorial. Enigmatic, elaborately carved Pictish stones stand as timeless evidence of this. As for the locals, they appear prideful of the counsel they delight in giving to visitors. Traveler, beware. The Celtic peoples arrived in this place like a great beast, bringing with them the bloodlines that would eventually spawn the Gordon clan. Using their superior numbers, knowledge, and machines of war, they swiftly conquered the primeval Picts. With them, they brought too their religion and druid clerics. The magics these wise men used did shape forever the lands, even until this present day. It is said that the sempiternal burden our family carries rose at that time. 'Tis well recorded how the Empire of Rome did fail to tame the wayward Scots, that they did even raise a barrier to protect their mighty empire. What is seldom told is the truth behind their defeat. Our ancestors drew upon ancient powers to aid their victory, powers not easily fathomed by the fragile human mind. This aid did come at the greatest of costs, a debt as yet unsettled, a price we will continue to pay until the last Gordon passes to dust. For the centuries, we Gordons made the land our own. Others did bow to us, as we kept the secrets of Skahandu, the secrets of the Black Mirror. Even as tragedy and madness did fester in our foundations, we held fast and steered the land through vile English attack and worse. In time, the Gordons and the land became one.
Some pages have been ripped out. The only thing left seems to be some kind of family oath.
In blood we are bound to the land we protect, to the truths we alone may conceal. I shall forfeit my life, lest my clan should suffer. I shall forfeit my spirit to hold the darkness at bay. In blood we are bound till the day of the reckoning.
What on earth? Where's the call coming from? Is this what madness feels like? It can't be real. All this looks like the bottom of a lake. What are you trying to show me? She's not holding a baby, but some heavy object to weigh herself down. There's a fresh wound across her stomach. The figure up there must be Edward. No.
Find my child! Are you all right?
Did you see her? She drowned.
Calm down, you're in shock. What were you doing clambering about in here?
If I told you, you'd think me mad.
Odd. That is just what your father said to me.
What? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Leah Farber. I treated your father at the asylum.
The asylum?
Let's get you back to the castle and make sure you are all right.
What did you come here for?
I'm not sure your father's story is finished yet, and there are some things I still need to make my peace with.
What's this about an asylum?
As I said, your father was admitted.
Why? Who did that to him?
I did. But unfortunately, he managed to escape.
What? Hold on a minute. How dare you come in here and...
Told you? Your father was a madman. A complete and utter madman. Don't mind me. Please continue.
Well, what right did you have to lock my father up in a madhouse?
I was his doctor. I understand you are in shock, but you have no right to speak to me in such a way. I was trying to help him.
He's dead. Capital job.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, no! No!
Eddie, it'll be all right. Pull yourself together.
I suggest nobody else goes down there. We should keep the room intact until the police can get here.
I shall alert them first thing in the morning. What an unfortunate accident.
An accident? You think so? Just after the madman's son turned up at our door?
And yet you were the one standing over her body with blood on your hands.
How dare you! I was too late! I was trying to help her, she...
There, my sweet boy. Let's get you to bed. Angus, would you?
Of course, ma'am.
I think we will all benefit from a good night's sleep.
I know you may have no reason to, but I need you to trust me. I'm the only one on your side when it comes to your father's death.
Lady Margaret certainly isn't. But if I told you what I saw in the chapel, you'd have me in a padded cell, just like my father. Why did you come here? To make sure my father was successfully in the ground?
With all due respect, Mr. Gordon, I will not allow you to speak to me or about my work in such a tone. I tried everything I could to aid your father. Your father was heavily drugged when he was brought to me, to prevent any further violent outburst, or so Lady Margaret had said. But something felt wrong, even then.
So, what was my father like when you locked him up?
I didn't just lock him up. I tried to help him. He was convinced he was carrying some ancient curse, that he was being haunted by evil. I wish I had reached him. had been able to reach him.
Maybe if I threw you a bone, you'd get off my back. Father was obsessed with the history of the family for as long as I can remember.
Did your father actually believe his family was out to get him?
Who knows? I think what scared him was beyond the physical. He used to babble about a dark force threatening him and our family.
Was that why he moved you to India? To get as far away as possible?
I believe so.
And yet, here you are, in the very place he sought to protect you from.
Who knows? Maybe there is an ancient evil in this place. An evil that drags us back no matter how far away we get. Even from the other side of the world.
And what do you think? Was your father right? Are there things beyond the physical?
I have other things to worry about right now. Things like a drowning woman floating in thin air. If you really want to help me, I need to find out what the maid knew. What Lady Margaret and Angus didn't want her to tell me.
You believe it got her killed?
Maybe. What I saw in the chapel, it has to be real. She must have drowned herself down at the loch. Because if it's all in my mind, like father, like son.
What is it?
I'll get you back.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come inside in a bit. Don't go. Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
Oh, stunning. How curious! Come and look at this. Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
Well, looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with. Something's carved into each one. I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory. He brought some down from the glass house.
That's an unusual looking rose. I noticed one lying by the side of the loch.
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower of Scahandoo, Cecilia.
My aunt? They're for her?
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. No the red ones, though. Made her think of blood, ye ken.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests. And I don't much stand by your modern god.
Rory, what happened to her? What happened to Cecilia?
I'm not in the mood to open old wounds, laddie.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on the shore.
Runes, aye. I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. Still hold to the old ways.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a long time.
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have all the answers, lassie.
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her.
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well, that's good to ken. I should have some left in the glass house.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie. Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a moment.
No, it's okay. I quite understand. You go ahead, and I'll wait here for you, if I must.
Aye, you must. I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers.
Can you tell me about Cecilia? What was she like?
She was a lovely lassie, but she had more than her share of troubles.
Grandfather Edward.
You ken well enough, son.
You said she wasn't in her grave.
Aye, that I did.
Did she drown?
She did. Killed herself. Her body was never found. Now all I have of her is my memories, and they're not what they were. And this.
That is exquisite. Cecilia made this.
She made it, aye, for me. Girl must have cut her fingers 100 times doing it. On the thorns, ye ken.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
He scratched the word Baron into her arm. What a monster.
Get lost!
You monster!
Who is that old woman? It takes courage to confront Edward like that.
They lied to me.
Who did?
All of them. It's me.
What just happened?
I could ask you the same thing. You started to talk to yourself. And then you were throwing your arms about like you were fighting something. I couldn't see what. You started bawling and the lassie came in to see what was going on. She tried to settle you, but you just went for her.
I saw an old lady. She wore a long, flowing dress. Her voice was strong, determined.
Sounds like Rosemary. She were Lady Margaret's mother.
Was Cecilia not able to have children? Did that anger Grandfather Edward?
Maybe you can see well enough too, son. Maybe you can. It wasn't her, it was her husband. He was the bother. Couldn't, you ken?
I think so, yes.
Aye, well, Edward blamed Cecilia for it, for picking the wrong man for her mate. You'll be fine, laddie. You just need some fresh air. This place can get to ye.
The crack is right there. Edward was furious. Seems like him and great-grandmother Rose didn't see eye to eye. The secateurs should be... Here they are. How could I know? This seems awfully accurate for a forgotten memory.
Trust your instincts, laddie.
David, are you all right?
I'm fine, thank you. I think this place is starting to get to me. I feel like the madness that runs through this family, through these walls, is starting to seep into me too.
I can help you, but you need to open up. You need to start talking to me.
You would not believe me if I told you.
Stubborn, just like your father.
I think that Edward may be responsible for the death of my Aunt Cecilia. Not directly. She drowned herself in the loch. I think that Edward drove her to it.
Old families usually have a skeleton or two in the cupboard.
Yes, but my family has a graveyard full. Whatever secret this family is hiding, it's costing lives. Cecilia, the maid. My father. God knows how many more over the years. I guess we'll have the key. Unless we can find another way in. I think I might have an idea how to get into the cellar, but I'm not sure you'll like it.
If it involves this filthy dumbwaiter, don't even think about it.
True, that wouldn't be very ladylike.
You might want to consider what I do for a living before trying to taunt me this cheaply.
You said you'd help me, so help me.
On my terms.
I can't fit in there, and I see no other way into the cellar.
You're asking me to put a lot of trust in you, given the circumstances.
I'm not crazy like my father, if that's what you think.
I don't think anything yet, because I don't know you.
You can trust me, and I will do my very best to learn to trust you.
All right then. Clothes can be washed. Lovely. Pull me back up! I need something to open the doors from the inside once I'm down there.
This should do it.
Going down?
Good luck.
See you in a minute.
Dr. Farber. Is everything all right? Leah! Oh, if anything's happened to her.
You needn't worry about me. I've been to stranger places than this castle. Follow me. Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design, and it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary. It...
Your stag is here, my little doe.
Little doe? Not exactly the usual way to address the staff.
Where's that sudden draft coming from?
He ripped a seam open. The missing pendant. He threw it into the blood-filled basin.
We're all here, sir. All down in the dark. Something's coming. The attic, sir. She's in the attic.
What just happened? You look like you were in some kind of trance.
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me. Or the visions that you'd think me insane if I described them to you.
I know you're holding out on me. I am on your side, remember? I thought I'd proven that to you already.
Perhaps I'm misjudging her.
Your father wouldn't speak to me either. Please let me help you.
Or not. I'm not her patient. I'm not a madman.
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's Clara?
I don't know. Yet another relative, perhaps?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we could not accuse a man of murder without proof.
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
Fair enough. There's no doubt about his loyalty, nor with whom it lies. If Eddie really gave her that pendant, he might be her killer, and I might not be losing my mind. Mr. McKinnon, who is Clara?
The lady, Clara, young Eddie's late mother. A box with some of her belongings are kept in the library, as Master Eddie feels himself more a Gordon than a Mallory.
The belongings of Eddie's mother. Recognize that?
The necklace. Is that...
A young Eddie and his mother Clara. You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this? I can't help you if you don't tell me.
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait for now. Eddie, I need to ask you about the maid. About Ailsa.
You didn't know her!
I know that you and her were... That is to say, I know you had feelings for her.
What? That's poppycock! You're as deranged as your father was!
David, really? You go too far with this behaviour.
The police will be here soon. Would you not prefer to clear this up before they get here in case they link Eddie with the crime?
Now look here, young lady. How dare you speak?
That's enough. Eddie. You gave her this. It was your mother's.
I did. It was.
Eddie!
I was just trying to cheer her up. She has nothing, and I had no need of it. You know she sends... You know she sent most of her money home to her grandmother.
Her clothing was ripped, as if someone was trying to force themselves upon her.
I would never have hurt her.
My little doe. Strange thing to call the help.
How? It was just harmless fun, that's all.
You're a worthless liar. You think she thought being pressed against a dead animal was harmless fun?
How do you know? It's true. Ailsa and I would never have laid a finger on her. We were in love. I helped her with everything, even with her chores. Rose and...
That's quite enough. Eddie, you are obviously upset. And you are not helping, David. Angus, will you please take the young master upstairs?
As you say, Mum.
I think you have caused quite enough disruption here. We shall settle this heritage dilemma first thing tomorrow.
I don't think so. I have more questions now than ever. About my father, the maid, this whole damn house.
Have a care, David. Need I remind you of your father's temper?
I would never.
Given the current mental state of Master Eddie, who should be a part of the heritage considerations, any discussion on the topic would be futile at this point. Would you not agree?
Thank you, Leah. Maybe it's a good thing you're here after all.
Impudent brats!
What's going on?
Did you notice when Margaret got angry?
When Eddie mentioned chores involving Rose. What does that mean?
It can only have something to do with Lady Rosemary and Aunt Cecilia, and whatever the maid was doing in the attic.
The attic?
I saw the maid coming down the stairs with a tray, but there's nothing up there but an empty room, or so I thought.
Interesting. What is it, David?
I have to see.
David, wait! You have to start confiding in me, David. What are you seeing?
I can see echoes, memories of those who lived here. I see my father as a young boy. He's trying to communicate with me.
Perhaps you visited here as a child. Maybe you're remembering stories your father told you of this place when you were young.
You see, I said you wouldn't believe me. If I'm only remembering things, how would I have known where to find the pendant? How could I have known he tried to force himself on her? Unless you think I killed her.
I don't think you killed anyone, David. And you're right. I can't explain it.
So?
So, we focus on the facts as we know them.
Go on.
You saw the maid's body. Her neck was broken. That was the work of a human, not a ghost, yes?
I suppose so, yes.
Lady Margaret knows more than she's saying, that's for sure.
Godspeed getting anything out of that old hag.
No, I know. But Eddie might be an easier option.
Yes. Yes, we need to find him. And make sure Margaret isn't there to interrupt.
I believe she's already gone to bed, but I'll check. You go find Eddie.
Well, that's clear enough.
Well, hello, my dear Elsa. Oh, Sir Edward, you look very handsome today.
Eddie?
Why, thank you. You're as beautiful as ever, my little doll. Oh, mwah, mwah.
Eddie, can you hear me? What can you tell me about great-grandmother Rose? What did Elsa have to do? Eddie! What do you see here, Eddie?
You'll be quite safe, the little rabbit said to his brothers and sisters. The fox is fast asleep, so the rabbits tiptoed past, and the fox was sly. He wasn't asleep at all. He opened his yellow eyes.
I've warned you before to mind your place. This will be the last time you defy me.
The eyes of the fox, they shone with cruel light as he punched on the rabbits and ate them all one by one. It was only then he went to sleep, his tummy full, his heart content.
A secret passage.
What do you think you're doing?
That won't be long, I hope. Look after Eddie. Just a little further. Damn it!
That's it. Open wide. Good, good.
I don't want any.
That's all right, dear. Did I tell you that John's son David has arrived? He's as bothersome as his father. Not worthy of this place. Poor Angus will never recover from the sight of John's charred remains. Selfish, selfish man.
Please, don't.
I do not enjoy this, as you well know, but you brought it on yourself. Your son was a good man. You should not have defied him.
Rosemary. Oh my God. She's barely skin and bones. How is she still alive?
I found the wooden switch. It was in the bookcase.
You scared me half to death.
Well, you will insist on wandering off without telling me where you're going, and I just managed to avoid Lady Margaret when... Jesus God!
I saw this.
In a vision.
Edward beat her with it. Used it to cripple the poor woman.
Oh my God. And he hung it there to remind her every day. Take it down.
You're sure?
Do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rosemary, I'm David, John's son, your great-grandson.
Here, try this. No, like this. Gently.
Who did this to you?
Edward. I was bad. I disobeyed.
Disobeyed? How did you disobey?
Cecilia. I tried to stop him. Stop what he was doing.
What was he doing, Rosemary?
Should not have disobeyed. Not disturb him in the old wing. Never talk back.
Rose! Rose! What did he do to Cecilia?
I don't think you'll get anything more out of her. Poor woman. Come on, Lady Rosemary. We'll get you out of here.
No!
We can get you somewhere safe.
I'm safe here, in this room. Safe from the Black Mirror.
The Black Mirror. Margaret has a lot to explain. I think we need to have words with her ladyship. Margaret, we need to talk about...
Lady Margaret, if you please.
Never mind that. What the hell are you doing with Rosemary?
You're one to talk. You're just like your father, leaving nothing but fear and misery in your wake.
What in God's name are you talking about?
You spoke to young Eddie, did you not? Now he's convinced everyone is trying to kill him. He has taken poor Andrew hostage and is threatening his life.
Where is he?
He's taken him to the old wing, and he is armed.
I'll go. I can talk to him.
You will not. You two have caused quite enough trouble already.
We? How dare you, when you continue to worship Edward, even though he drove poor Cecilia to drown herself?
I will not allow you to...
To what? To speak the truth? To say that Edward...
He never touched her! You come here, and you...
No, you. You are the one in the wrong here. You know more than you're saying, and we both know it. There's something in this place. An evil that has plagued our family for generations. Instead of blaming others, maybe you should look closer to home for the cause of your misfortune.
You know nothing. What I did, what I do, everything is for this family. How can you possibly understand?
Please, my lady, we can discuss this later. Miss Farber, you need to speak to Master Eddie.
Take us to him.
This way. Have a care in the old wing. It isn't used, and for good reason. A section of wall fell into the sea some years back, and the rest is falling to ruin. Over there, sir.
Eddie?
No! No! They're after me! All of them! Trying to kill me! No! Please help!
Eddie, look at me, Eddie, just at me. It's going to be all right.
Stay back here. I'll try to reason with him.
You will not. This is what I do.
He can't see me from here. This might be a way across.
Eddie? Talk to me, Eddie. Tell me what's troubling you.
Troubling
Steady
me?
now.
He is! And David! They all are!
They all are what, Eddie?
Accusing me! They think I killed her!
The maid, you mean?
But I didn't! I didn't!
I believe you, Eddie. I believe you.
Stop wriggling about. You stay still.
Let him go, Eddie. Everything is all right. Slowly, Mr. Harrison.
Come here!
Bloody fool. Bits of bone. Should work if I'm careful. Let's hope this doesn't snap under the strain.
What the? Leave me alone! I told you! Leave me alone!
Eddie, stop!
What? Get them off me! Get them off!
You okay?
What? No! Hold still, you bastard!
Andrew! Andrew, no!
David? David?
What? What happened?
Relax. Everything's fine.
Fine. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, please, contain yourself, Andrew.
I most certainly will not. And I'm not spending another moment in this madhouse. I will fetch the police from the village immediately.
I don't think that would be wise, sir.
Are you threatening me?
Perish the thought, sir. I'm merely pointing out the folly of driving these roads in the dark.
And besides, we may need the car if Eddie's condition worsens.
The insane brat can jump off the roof for all I care. I, for one, will rather risk my life out there than in here.
Leave, then. And before you even think of telling anyone what happened here, just remember who you are dealing with. And yes, you may consider that a threat. Angus, kindly help me with young Eddie.
Careful now, just take it slowly. I'm sorry I didn't believe you.
Science took a beating tonight.
After seeing what happened here, I think even Dr. Freud would agree with you.
The mirror. I think it's some kind of dark force, an ancient evil summoned by the Druids.
And they lost control over it.
I believe they never had control.
I need to check up on Eddie and make sure he's all right.
Have you forgotten that he tried to kill you?
So, I'll be careful then. He's a person in need, no matter what he did.
My father tried to destroy the mirror, to end the evil, but he failed. Now he's trapped in there.
Are you talking about his soul?
If that's what you want to call it. All I know is... we have to find a way to free him. Edward knew of the mirror. He may have even understood its power.
So we know what it is, but not where.
It's underground. Somewhere. Reaching it, well, that's the real conundrum.
And how not to end up like your father.
This is Edward's lair. And Margaret was none too eager on us prying.
So we should pry.
Indeed.
Another one.
Like the symbols carved on the rocks.
Rory.
Yes. He might know what it means.
He'll probably be asleep at this late hour, though.
The first time I met him was in the dead of night. So who knows? He might get lucky.
Ugh, the stench. It reeks of death down there.
That foul smell might lead us straight to where we need to go.
You think the way to the mirror might be through that abyss?
Perhaps. It's too dark to see what's down there. Son of a... An army book. It belonged to Angus.
There's a page marked.
It details how to perform a caesarean section.
Does that mean that Angus...
delivered Cecilia's baby? That way they could keep it out of the public eye.
Horrifying.
Looks like this is where Grandfather Edward did his work. You were probably looking for this too, Father. Still not complete, it seems. To my dear Father Edward, you stopped me from ending my torment many times before, but on this occasion, I'm determined you will not. I do this, not for myself, but for my child. A child that should never have been. A child born, not from love, but from cruelty. I'm taking my baby with me to save it from this rotten family. For it does not deserve to be cast into this world and into this damned place. Cecilia Gordon.
What does it say?
The ramblings of a lunatic. He talks of a place of great power in an abandoned village.
Any mention of where it is?
No such luck. Just that it's where, as he charmingly puts it, his whore of a mother pushed him out into the world.
He was born in this village. At the place of power.
Yes, but it puts us no nearer to finding it.
It does. His mother will know the location.
Of course. Rosemary! I should be able to cobble together a light. Cheers. Stand back! So this is where Eddie dumped the bits he didn't need.
Look, who knows how far down these chasms go?
Or how vast the caves below are. The castle may have been built on top of wherever the mirror is kept. It doesn't look like we'll get any closer to it from down there, though.
I think we should get moving, unless you still want to look around some more.
Mr. McKinnon.
Master David. Miss Farber.
If you don't mind me saying, you look like you could use some sleep.
After seeing what happened in the old wing, I doubt I will ever sleep well again.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
No, sir. I do not think you do.
How is Eddie faring?
The young master is in bed. We've ensured he's comfortable and cannot do any further harm.
I'd like to speak to him, to help us understand why he did what he did.
Lady Margaret is sitting with him at the moment. I'm afraid he's in no fit state to talk.
I hope you managed to sleep soon.
Thank you, sir. As do I. Oh, Rory the gardener mentioned he wanted to speak with you. He's in the library.
Thank you for letting me know. Hello, Rory. What brings you to the library in the dead of night?
I don't rightly know. I woke up. Something, a feeling, made me come here.
I see.
I ken I wasn't much of a help to you earlier. It is not easy for me to trust folks.
From what I've seen of this family, I cannot entirely blame you. Edward's diary mentioned an old, deserted village somewhere nearby.
I ken it. I haven't been up there in years, though. 'Tis a fearful place, so it is.
What happened? Why was it abandoned?
The folks there were all killed. All dead. Wiped out overnight. Nobody goes there anymore.
But Edward did.
Aye.
How did the village die? It was the Druids. The Druids using the Black Mirror.
Aye, it was. They got what they wanted, drove back the Romans. Aye, that they did. But it cost them dear.
Can you take us to the village?
No, son, I canna. My eyesight's not what it was, ye ken. And them woods are not safe with no map to guide ye. I can get you across the loch when you ken the path, though.
Rose? Rosemary! It's me, it's David. I need you to help us. The village where Edward was born. Can you point to it on this map? Can you do that? Oh, nothing. It's like she's shut down.
Just a second. Try now.
There! That's where the village is. This ought to be enough for Rory to help us find the village.
We'll need a boat to get across the loch.
There's one at the lakeside. This isn't going to move.
I'm not surprised. By the looks of it, it hasn't moved in years.
It's going to take more than me and you to get this into the water.
Andrew really has left on foot. I hope he finds somewhere warm soon, and unharmed.
He was a fool to leave. And it won't make our lives easier if he does drag the authorities up here.
You're starting to sound like a true Gordon.
The keys are here.
Margaret won't be happy if we use the car to push in the boat.
All the more reason to do it. Do you know how to drive?
You don't.
There's easier ways to get around in India.
What a bleak place. And so quiet.
Quiet? You mean you can't hear?
As will be the fate of anyone who dares oppose this family.
Hear what?
Voices. Screams.
I'm not sure. I think I can hear something in the distance.
We need to keep moving. Edward must have had some sort of hideout up here. I guess it's near the place of power he wrote about in his diary.
How will we know if we found it?
You can almost feel the deadness of this place seep into you.
That you can, laddie, that you can. I havena been here in many a year. I dinna ken the place so well. Wouldn't have a clue where it would hit out.
Is everything all right, Rory?
It's the bloody voices, laddie. I'm trying to keep them out, but they're loud and strong.
We'll keep looking.
I'm not going anywhere, laddie.
No sign of human, or any life, really.
The architecture of this place, the tunnels, huts, if only we had more time to explore it thoroughly.
We should show this to Rory. Do you know what this is?
I ken it. It's a symbol the old druids would have used in their rituals.
We'll keep looking.
I'm not going anywhere, laddie.
We need to break this open somehow.
Asya, no, you can't say that. I tried to protect you. I didn't mean to harm her. I didn't. It was just a bairn, just a wee bairn.
Rory?
Let him go. We need to keep moving. This handwriting, I recognize it. It's Andrew's.
Andrew? The lawyer?
This is his workplace. The fool. He's trying to release Edward, free his spirit from the mirror.
Do you think there's also a way to free your father?
Perhaps. The difference being that whatever is left of Edward, what I've seen, I'm not sure he's of this world anymore. Edward's birth was during some kind of ritual. They thought he would have a unique connection to the Black Mirror.
And Andrew thinks he might have inherited this trait from his father.
Exactly. Which shows he knows nothing about what the mirror is capable of, or is beyond caring. There must be an entrance beneath the house that leads to the Black Mirror. This is what Andrew's looking for. Listen to this. Edward may have had his faults, but he was not weak like my mother, who carried her weakness to the end when she took the coward's way out. Cecilia's baby didn't die with her. It's Andrew. Oh, he played me from the beginning. Andrew keeps referring back to a spot nearby. It must be Edward's place of power.
Oh, the soil here has been disturbed.
The missing pages from the Chronicles. They might detail the rituals Andrew is trying to complete. They're badly burnt, but maybe we can... That's as good as it gets. Let's see what we can see. Not much. The blood of 3. The soul of 1. What does...
Christ, what is this? What's happening, David?
A dream within a dream. Stay close to me.
Done this together! No! He can't be allowed to return! Come back! Come back here!
Another page from the Chronicles. A ritual of protection. Andrew seems to have tried to stop my father from enacting some kind of guardian ritual.
Did your father complete it?
I don't know yet.
You cannot hide! Not from me!
Not him, not the boy!
I remember this from India.
It was yours.
Yes, when I was a boy. I can't believe he kept this. There's a shortcut over here.
Lead the way.
Le cloich gion mi mehucha. Gaboje am prish gabe mi rish.
Stop that!
What the hell just happened? I heard voices, but clearly you see much more than I do.
My father came here to free himself. Our family of the curse. But he found out that Andrew was up to something even worse, and he tried to stop him.
The Black Mirror.
Andrew was trying to use its power to return Edward, or whatever Edward has become, to this plane of existence. This world.
The fool. He just needed to look around here to see the mirror can't be controlled, can't be trusted. So did your father complete this guardian ritual? Do you think it worked?
I don't know for sure, but I think it must have. Otherwise, how could he still be helping us? I feel like he's trying to reach out to me, but I can't quite touch him.
Is there any way of freeing him from wherever he is now?
I can only hope there is. We need to get Rory and get back to the castle before Andrew finds the entrance, if he hasn't already.
And we need to warn the others about...
You're too weak, Swear Gordon. Just like your father.
father! Once a murderer, always a murderer. A pathetic old man. You could never do what needs to be done.
Rory! Rory! Are you hurt?
Let me have a look.
Dinna fash yourself, lassie. I'm fine.
What did Angus mean about you being a murderer? He wasn't just talking about himself, was he?
Just the ramblings of a dying man.
No more excuses. If you want our trust, then be honest with us.
Aye, you're right. It was a long time ago. I wasn't the man I am now. I had a temper on me. A drink. One night I got mad and, oh God forgive me, I killed my wife and bairn. And the Gordons.
They covered it up.
That they did.
That's why you've worked here all these years. You owed them.
I'm a selfish old man. Hiding out here, feared the Gordons would turn me in.
And Edward? Did you know?
I kenned what he did. But I was too big a coward to do anything.
The voices you were hearing earlier, was it your wife?
Her and Cecilia, aye.
Andrew. I think he's Edward's son.
What? No, it can't be.
He's what, Rory?
Cecilia's bairn. I made him give him away. I kenned we should have put him down instead.
You gave Cecilia's baby away? What about her husband?
Oh, Edward had taken care of him a long time ago.
We need to get back.
Give a hand up, will you? Help me back to my glasshouse. I need to show you something.
Can we give you a hand?
From what you told me, your father cast a guardian spell, and he cast it for you, son.
Why?
For to help you, to contact you from the other side. You're special, lad. I think you likely have the power of a high druid. Someone with a powerful connection with the spirits.
What's he doing?
It's the same symbol I saw my father make before he killed himself.
Shh! Give me your hand.
Ouch!
Don't be a wee un. Now, drip your blood onto the symbol.
Father.
There, laddie. The link with your father will be stronger now.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. You'll need all the help you can get for when you reach the mirror. You're not to go down there until your bond is completed. There's still unfinished business between you and your father. I just dinna ken what it is.
I've been thinking about the mirror. About what it does, Rory. I think that it was responsible. For what you did to your family, I mean.
Thank you for your words, lass. But it doesn't change the fact that I did it. It doesn't ease the pain. It doesn't stop their guilt. There's still things you don't know about, lad. About your father and his past. But you need to find out for yourself. Do not face the mirror with doubt in your heart, or you'll leave nothing of you. That's all for me now.
Nonsense. We will get you help. I can...
All I see, I'll be with my wife and parents soon. She always told me for a gardener I was never very good at growing a beard. She were always right, my girl.
Blood.
We need to be careful.
It's not her blood. Here, let me help you.
I will be fine, thank you.
Andrew, where is he?
He has taken Eddie. I tried to stop him, but he struck me. Me. There was a madness in his eyes. I do not understand what is happening. First Eddie, and now Andrew.
It's this house, the curse in our veins. It comes from whatever evil lurks below this damn place.
The Black Mirror.
Poppycock. Our blood is not cursed. We may have had our fair share of tragedies. So does any great family. But evil can live in the hearts of men without the help of any curse.
On that at least we can agree. And in one heart in particular, that of my grandfather, your dear, precious Edward.
I will not hear another word from you about my husband.
We don't have time for this. Look in the desk in the old wing if you will not believe us.
She might know more. We need to talk to her again, without attacking her.
Oh, of course. You're right.
This isn't him. No, my Edward couldn't have written this.
How do you feel about your darling husband now?
David, that's not helping.
My Edward wouldn't. He couldn't have written this. It must have been Andrew, or young Eddie. Yes, that's who it was, not Edward. Not my Edward.
Do you know how Andrew got through the passage in the fireplace?
No, I don't know. I thought I heard him sneaking about the great hall before he came into Eddie's room, but I cannot be sure.
I know this is difficult to hear, but there is a madness coursing through the Gordon bloodline, and you know it. You've seen it tear our family apart. Andrew is the outcome of this madness, the result of what your husband did to Cecilia.
No. He would have never touched her. Never.
Would you like to sit down, Lady Margaret?
No. I'm all right. It's just... he was always good to me. He did love me. In his way.
Listen to me, Lady Margaret. This is important. Rory said there is something unresolved between my father and I. Do you know what he meant?
I didn't know your father as well as I would have liked. I'm sorry,
This is not the time for secrets, Lady Margaret. Just look at what this has brought us.
I'm sorry. All that is happening, it makes no sense. All I can tell you is that your father was obsessed with the model of the castle in the master's study. I have avoided that room for years.
We need to get moving. Andrew could be doing anything to Eddie right now.
Young Eddie doesn't deserve this. You need to save him.
We'll try. You have our word.
Is there anything you know about your husband? Something that could help us save Eddie's life?
I don't know what it is, but I do know that Edward considered it valuable. Rose, how did you... 5 years. I did what had to be done. For our family. What else could I have done?
Still not complete, it seems. Yes, perfect. That's it. Look. A stone plate full of ancient symbols. See you on the other side. Andrew's mind seems to be crumbling under the mirror's influence. We need to stop him before he drags Edward's corrupted soul back into this world.
I still cannot quite believe what is happening in this strangest of places.
There's something back there. Looks like a door.
A door? Where to?
Well, that's what we need to find out. Andrew clearly wants us to follow him.
Mainly you, I reckon. You did it!
I just hope we are not too late. The mirror is down there. But I need to fortify the connection with my father, like Rory said, before we face whatever awaits us. Let's see if my trusty key will get this open. The final part.
Stop your whining!
You are seeing something again, aren't you?
Yes.
Give it back! You killed her! It's your fault!
So that's why he buried it in Cecilia's grave. He's in the grip of the mirror. A hidden switch.
What did you see, David?
My father and Edward, he...
It's all right. Take your time.
Margaret covered up the fact that Edward didn't die by accident. He was murdered.
Murdered? By whom?
My father.
Your father? Are you sure? He would have only been a child then.
I am sure. And yes, he was. Lady Margaret sent him to boarding school soon afterwards. She was scared of him. And I suppose that's why she was afraid of me too. All this time, trying to prove my father wasn't mad. That every man in the Gordon family isn't destined to become a murderer. But that's exactly what he was.
He was only a child. Maybe the mirror drove him to it.
It did. I saw the darkness take hold of him. But does it matter though? Like Rory said, it doesn't wash away the guilt. Sooner or later I will be shedding innocent blood too. I shouldn't follow Andrew down there. I could end up a monster like every Gordon before me, and you should go. Just get yourself away from all this.
Nonsense. You're the only one who can stop Andrew. You're armed with the knowledge your father never had. And remember, he did everything in his power to protect you.
He sacrificed himself. He saw the horrors on the other side, and still did it.
Now that you know the things that happened to him when he was a child.
You are right. He wasn't the father I needed in life. But in death, he gave everything for a mere chance to protect me. I forgive you. Thank you for everything. Now let us stop this madness once and for all. Margaret covered it up. She even lied about Edward's death. She told everyone it was an unfortunate accident.
After you.
Too kind.
David, stop! Don't move!
What? What's wrong?
Can't you see? Right by your feet. An abyss.
An abyss? What are you talking about?
I'll guide you across. Just listen to my voice. One step back, then to your left. Please be careful. Stop. Turn to your right and move forward slowly. Stop. Turn to your right and move forward slowly. Stop. Turn to your left, then straight, but be careful.
That was too close. Leah? Rory was right. We can only get through this together. Just as well I couldn't see it. Your cheap tricks will not stop me. What the? Your cheap tricks will not stop me. What the? Your cheap tricks will not stop me. You want me to use this, Father? But what for? The same symbols as in the village, and the gate. Damn, I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. That's one. What the? I hope I'm not too late. The mirror. The black mirror.
Ah, David! I'm delighted you could join us. I knew you'd find your way here.
Let the others go, Andrew. This is a family matter. Amongst us true Gordons.
You are so right, my dear cousin. This is a family matter.
David!
If you think your cheap tricks can stop me, you're greatly mistaken. Get a grip, David.
Master David, why did you let me die?
You have disgraced this family.
I should have killed you when I had the chance, boy.
You're not seeing the bigger picture, David. This family, this clan,
was once powerful enough to drive the Roman legions out of Scotland. We can have that power again!
Massacring an entire village of innocents in the process. I want that as much as you, Andrew. But do you really think you can control the thing Edward has become?
You were always a disappointment to me.
You are nothing! Less than nothing!
Andrew, don't!
I'll be needing your blood too, David.
We don't need Edward. We can find a way to control the mirror. You and I, together.
I don't care for your disrespect for my father. For one of the greatest Gordons who has ever lived.
What do you need me to do to complete the ritual and bring Edward back?
Not much. Just a few drops of your blood.
Give me the knife. I'll do it myself.
David, my dearest cousin, you really need to stop treating me like I'm bloody stupid!
My father. Could he be brought back too?
Pure Gordon blood flows through my veins. Once my father is freed, there will be nothing we cannot do.
Very well. Together then.
David, don't!
Shut your mouth, woman!
Rest in peace, Rory. If such a thing is possible.
What, you doubt it?
All that happened here? I am a scientist. I never thought there was an afterlife or anything after. And now, I know there's not only life after death, but there's evil there.
My father, Rory, they saved us. And I must believe they found their peace. It's up to us to find our own. And hope that it lasts.